Okay, motion to start.
I don't know. Which one is it? David? What's the password? Which one? The fat one?
Time.
Okay. Welcome, everybody. For those that didn't make it to the snack section, our sign-in sheets are actually over there. All right? The purple ones over here were from the previous meeting. So if you want to make sure that you sign those in before you leave. Okay, approval of minutes from our September meeting. Can I get a motion for that? Second? Thank you. All right, we have our upcoming season. And past couple of weeks I've been talking to different people here, other officials, other associations, and I've always been, could be biased, it could be whatever, but some of you know that I've officiated outside of Florida and predominantly all over the state of Florida as well. But I've always felt that Area B, Orlando, for those of you who don't do USSF, has always had the best contingent of officials. The camaraderie that we have, the way that we share information, the way that we talk to each other, we hang out, you know, I've never found that anywhere else. I've always seen a lot of bickering, a lot of issues, a lot of egos, and we've never had that. So I want to thank you for being part of the association, and you know, keep that going forward to this season to all the high schools. We're sending a letter to all the ADs and coaches for this upcoming season on things that we're going to be watching for. Shin guards, obviously. One thing I do want to stress and make a point of is some of us tolerate dissent, you know, comments by players, comments by coaches. You don't have to do that, and I prefer you not do that, because while you can do that and that's not an issue for you, it might be an issue for the next official that comes to that match. So when they want to decide to handle it and give them a caution, the coach a caution, or a player a caution for that dissent, now we end up getting a message from the AD or the coaches that this official isn't any good, or that, you know, why are we sending this person over? They can handle the match, when that's not really the case. They can handle the match. They just don't want to tolerate dissent. So moving forward, let's keep that in mind as the season goes on, and let's nip those in the bud and let the coaches know we're not going to tolerate it. Let the players know we're not going to tolerate it. Okay? Somebody had mentioned to me that they asked me why the association changed our name. That we didn't bring it up in the first meeting, and I was going to bring it up. We just had so much other stuff going on in the meeting. Gainesville had come to us with a request that they are going to be coming out with, and it's outside of our realm, but they're going to be officiating weightlifting. It's going to be the first sport that they're starting weightlifting. And predominantly the schools are all in Orange and Seminole County. So my belief is that as an association, I don't believe is to give you as much ability or chance as possible to officiate, whether it be soccer, whether it be weightlifting, you know, whatever the sport comes about that Gainesville wants us to do. I want to give that opportunity to the association. If you want to do it, great. If you don't, no problem. But I want the association to be able to bid for that, and that's why we ended up changing our name to sports instead of soccer. At this moment, we're going to have Vice President Greg McCoy. It's after the soccer season.
Yeah, but they said they are going to do it.
They are going to do it. The question was if they said when they're going to do it. It actually starts when soccer ends.
Yeah, I know when the season is. I just didn't know.
They're going to bring out.
Definitely going to allow the.
Yeah. Yes, and they're going to give us the criteria and the pay and the regulation and everything hopefully prior to December. That's what they're shooting for. It is indoors, so,
Yeah, because I know a lot of football associations probably are joining.
right.
FOA.
So I just didn't want to limit us as far as,
Right.
no, we only do soccer. So, but we'll know, hopefully we'll know by the end of December, and it'll start come March. And for those that never seen him before or don't know who he is, here's Kevin O'Leary, our assigner.
Am I up?
All right, well, I'm gonna report on the two committee members who are not here tonight, and one of them is Sam Gillespie's handling assignment committee. There you are, I didn't even see you come in. All right. Something we talked about earlier and something the membership wanted to see was we did a report on middle school games to get an idea of how many games were assigned on average. We had 162 members in the association, but only 92 participated in middle school. The average game assignment was 8 games for the season. We had one outlier at 22. And so far for high school, we did the same thing. We have 136 who have games assigned to them already, and the average amount of games is 10 games. So hopefully everybody's seeing their games showing up. Kevin's going to go into more depth on the game assignments for high school. The other piece is I met with Dave Smith today, and we discussed the postseason application or the recommendation committee. For those of you who are here, I'm going to hand out a form. If you are interested in doing state series in the spring, we need your name on here and we need to know your availability. So you just check off what spots are there. The rest of the page is the criteria we're using. Don't worry about it because we'll take care of it for you. But for right now, you need to be at this meeting. You should have attended a previous meeting as well. And you need to have 3 years as a center if you want to be a center, or 2 years as an SR if you want to be an SR on a crew. There's one other bit too. Anyhow, any questions on that? Okay. I'll have them at the back of the room. And the last thing is we have a fitness test on Wednesday. For those of you who are not already done a fitness test for NSOA or for USSF as a state ref or higher, we need you to show up if you want to do postseason as well. If you just want to get out and get an assessment done, please show up. And we said 6:30? 7 o'clock at Trotters Park. Email was sent out, and I believe it is on the event list for Arbiter. Any questions on that? All right, the rest of my committee members are here, and they will be addressing you shortly. Thank you.
Okay, I have a couple of things to talk about. We've been having a lot of different issues with Arbiter, and we've asked Arbiter to correct some of them. And I sent an email to all of you requesting that you copy and paste it and send it to Dave Hansen at Arbiter. 6 of you have done that I know of. Our issues, just the way the world is today, they work with what's called market metrics. And the most people that ask about a problem get it solved. So if you guys wouldn't mind taking the 5 minutes max that it would take you, actually it should take you about 30 seconds, to cut and paste the email that I sent you that says these are the issues that we would like to have solved, and then just sending it to the man whose email address is also on that same email. His name is Dave Hansen. We'll get 177 emails that say these problems are important. Some of them include when you look at your Arbiter Connect thing that says I'm the payer and we all know it's Michelle, or that I'm the assigner and we know that it's Kevin. But in the heat of the moment, you should know who it is you need to call. If you're somewhere and you need to talk to the assigner, you shouldn't think, okay, you need to call me. I'm always happy to field your calls because I get a lot of them. But if you've got an issue on the day of a game and you need to talk to Kevin right away, you're going to see who assigned you to the game, and that's who you're going to call. Some of the other ones are internal programs we need changed, but your assistance will help us quite a bit. So first thing, yes, David.
What should go in that subject line? 'Cause when I did it, I kind of made up my own subject line.
Arbiter issues that need help would work. Secondly, I would like you all to look at your phones right now at your Arbiter Connect and tell me how many of you have red and black logos and how many of you have red and white logos on your Arbiter Connect app. Okay, if you don't have the app, we paid for you all to have the app. So when you sign into your page where you have schedule, events, everything, you'll see Arbiter Connect or Arbiter Mobile, Arbiter Connected. If you click on that, read what it says, download the link, and put it on your phone. And some of the issues that we requested you to send the email for have to do about Arbiter Connect. So, do any of you have red and black? Okay, Arbiter Connect's not working for you because that's the old app.
Keep it, believe me, keep the red and black, because you lose a lot of features on the new one. You don't have a calendar, you don't have anything else on the new one. Keep the red. Once you update it, you're gonna go back to what we have now.
Okay, well, I have a calendar on mine and I've got the new one. So I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe on Droids, maybe that's a problem.
I don't know, but it shouldn't be a choice.
Arbiter Connect is the name of it. The old one was called Arbiter Mobile.
The new one on mine, I can't get it out.
Keep the new, keep Arbiter Mobile.
Keep the old one.
You can do what you want. There are many features of the new one that the old one doesn't have.
What features that, can you tell us, Ange? What feature the new one's got? That the old one doesn't?
What? Right now I can't tell you because I didn't do a thing.
Well, I lost a lot of features, that's what I know. When I updated to the new one, I lost
Okay.
a lot of features.
And on Arbiter Connect, can you put scores in after you're done?
That's one of the things that we requested that I need everybody to, yeah.
I know that you gotta go back to the website.
Right, we're not the only people that have requested it, but if 177 of us request it, it'll be solved quicker.
That's pretty good, because you can go in and accept games.
Right.
Your whole schedule there, everything.
Well, we bought it for you, so you might as well use it. It's Apple, Android, both. The second thing is many of you guys think you're doing, guys, can you be quiet? Many of you think you're doing your partners a favor when they're arriving late and you're saying that they're on time. You're late if you're not at the field 20 minutes beforehand. I mean, 30 minutes beforehand, okay? And it happens to some of you where you're stuck or something and you're calling and you're at least letting the center know or your partners know that you're going to be late. If you still get there within 20 or 15 minutes, that's one thing. But we have referees that are walking in after the whistle's blown or 2 minutes before the game starts, and they're late. And we need to know about it because we need to solve the issue. You're not doing yourself or anyone else who may inherit that referee at a later date a favor by covering for them. So honesty is the best policy. All right, if the guy's late, say they're late. All we're going to do is ask why and ask them not to repeat it. But we need to know because the ADs call us and say, the referee wasn't there. I saw him come like 5 minutes beforehand. And then we look like idiots because we look and it says he's on time.
Okay, and how about this? Let's say, for example, I'm running a little behind, I text message Dave Anglin, say, Dave, I'm on my way, I'm a little bit late. A referee should communicate with the coach and say, Coach, by the way, we got a referee's gonna be late, so, but he's on his way before kickoff. So then all of a sudden, that communication should probably get relayed to the AD, and then
Sometimes the AD's at the basketball game.
right, so then anyway, at least the coaches know.
Right. All I'm saying is you're not doing anybody a favor. It's not like anyone's going to get in trouble. Just let us know. That's my only point there. How many of you are coming to the Classic on Friday? All right. Well, you all should be coming. And if you're bringing any portions of your families, there is an area where you can do that when you accept it. So we have a good count. And we have shirts for both teams. You know, Osceola and Orange are playing Lake, Volusia, and Seminole. David Sarando has said he will be the captain of the Seminole team. Harris Bisick is the captain of the Orange team. Please arrive a little bit early, so if possible, so that we can give you your shirts for your proper team that you're playing for. And since it's October, we have pink against sapphire blue. Orange County being pink. It's at Trotters Park.
What time?
And the game starts at 7. And we have food again for everybody. It's a chicken or a beef brisket choice with a couple sides. The food's excellent. We've had it a couple times. And we've just added extra entree. So you can have chicken or beef brisket this year. And everyone here, did you get your shirts or pick them up for someone that asked you to pick them up? If you didn't get it, we'll be over behind there. Everybody should have signed in over here this time. And anyone who didn't get their rule book, it's over there. How many have taken the test already? Okay, those that haven't, it ends on the 20th. And as we tell you every year, do not wait till the last day or it will crash, because every other fall sport referee is also taking the test and waiting to the last minute. And if it fails for you, you're going to have to take the makeup test, just so you know. So we're going to go over some of the, education's going to go over some of the new rules and things for this evening. But that's it. Does anyone have any questions for me that I haven't covered? Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. You've all been given shirts. You're supposed to have that on underneath your jersey or arrive at the school with it, so that the ADs or coaches know that you are the referee that's coming there today. However, we weren't happy with the way they were printed, so the ones you have are free. You're always going to get another one for free because we're having them reprinted. So you're actually going to get two that we're paying for. And those of you that ordered extra ones will also get, if you still want to buy them, the extra ones that you ordered. The logo will just be a little bit bigger.
The only way we can get the long sleeve?
I don't think they
For the
come in.
wintertime?
I'm going to talk about jerseys. The long sleeves, these don't come in long sleeves. These are only short sleeves. Now, here's the issue with jerseys. How many people need a teal jersey? Can you put your hands up? Did all of you send emails to me? All right. Here's the problem that we have. Both Cliff Keen and Honig's, who are the only two distributors, are out of medium long. And the majority of our referees are size medium. So I think I have about a dozen of you that want them. And if I can get a dozen, I can have Cliff Keen make them. But we're having an issue because by the time it comes to you, if you order one off, it's $83. So we're trying to find another supplier to make them. We were the main association that ordered long sleeves, so they made it for us. And we ordered with Brevard and North Florida so that we could have a big order. And when we ordered them, they were $56 for long sleeve. So I'll be sending an email out when I speak to the other person that I think might be able to make them, maybe quicker. Otherwise, I'm going to have to wait till I get 12 to get you guys a decent price in shipping.
I interviewed with a company, I didn't get the job, but I interviewed.
Okay.
They didn't understand my personality. They got the state contract with every uniform the state sells, and they're all going to be champion shirts. The company does have an office in Orlando.
What's the company's name, Howard?
Sport Images or something. I'll have to find it and email it to you.
Okay. If you could do that sooner rather than later,
I'll do it tomorrow
okay.
morning.
All right.
Okay, but yeah, they told me that they had, that was their big hit. And they're the only ones allowed to set up at state tournaments and stuff like that. So I complained about the jersey.
Mhm.
And said they're really chintzy, you know, they're falling apart, washed out. And she said, no, we have the uniforms as well.
Well, Howard, I
They're
don't,
all changed.
how many of your uniforms are falling apart? Because if you
I
laund,
know that.
if you laundered it the way that it was supposed to be laundered, they have lifetime guarantees. So unless you've had it hooked on a fence or pulled it some way, you can return it and have it replaced.
Yeah, I was just like fishing in the pond.
Okay. Because if you do have the Honig's jerseys, they're embroidered, and those, as soon as you wash them, the strings start unrolling. Okay? All right. Let me see. Next up is Michelle.
Guys, I have to say to you, for the 4 years that I've been with the board, this is the first time Ann spoke this long. And very good. All right. If I repeat a few things that she went over, I'm sorry because I have to talk about them, especially the classic. But that's all I'm gonna be doing. Guys, the middle school is coming to playoff next week, even final, I guess. I'm just gonna go over what we invoiced them so far. For the middle school, $51,233, and we already received $22,646. So we have $28,587 still owed to us from by the middle schools. And for high school, the season starting with the classics, the 25th going on. We invoiced so far $249,967, and we already received $61,031. With some of the high schools are getting the message that we're not playing this season, so we have $188,936. Speaking of we're not playing this season, there is one school in Orange County that Kevin knows that we told him do not assign anybody to that school yet, because we have 2 years running that they owe us money. So we sent an email to the AD, spoke with the AD, still has not doing anything. We spoke and sent an email to the principal, and their first game is the 31st, Kevin, and I know that. And I spoke with the coach, and they're getting worried. So, so this is how it's gonna be. If we can sit with the director of athletics and we made a deal with him, we cut down our travel, and we want the school to pay us on time. Now, we are really not gonna let the school go 2 years without paying us what they owe us. All right, and then referees, if anybody's asking you, if coach is asking you, tell them, listen, your school just not paying. All right, so that's what we're doing. So just one school, and
Have you gone to CPS about that? Have you gone to Orange County?
yeah,
Board
yeah.
about that?
We talked with Doug Patterson, who is the head of athletics right now, and he told us that he's going to help us, and he was copied on those emails. He knows what's going on.
Because the
Yeah.
principal will get in trouble.
Well, that is why we sent the email to her. And as a matter of fact, this is the problem with the schools, again. You send an email to one principal and you find out the person I sent it to, he replied to me, oh, I'm not the principal there anymore. So we had to find who it is and to send that email to that person. So we don't want to do that. And then, as I said in the email, we don't want to not sending referees to your school, but those games are paid already. And then how did we pay? We paid on your behalf. This is the money we paid the referees to do the games, but you have not paying us. So this is why we're doing that. Arbiter pay. We did two payrolls already, a total of $22,000 that we deposited in arbiter pay. We still have about $3,400 sitting in there. Telling me that there are 10 people which I sent email to already to tell them that it's either you didn't create an arbiter account yet, or the money sitting there, you're not taking it out. So I know there was one referee that still didn't collect the first payment and the second payment. And I sent him an email again, the same situation. Even Eddie Loyola didn't take out his money yet. But he's just leaving it there. That I understand, because this is one of the features about arbiter pay. You could either take the money or you could just leave it there if you want to.
Did you tell them that it's automatic, they get charged and paid?
Yeah, so you know that. And then in the first meeting, we did tell you, do not take that feature of automatic transfer. If it doesn't bother you, if it doesn't hurt you to pay that little fee, you want automatic transfer, do it. And then once I send arbiter pay, it'll go to you. You get the email that tells you you have money coming to your account and so on and so forth. But you have to do some banking on your own. You have to open your account and go in there and transfer the money yourself to your account. All right? Any question on arbiter pay? Yes? That's what we're doing. I tried to do one of the first. It was just like a try, kind of a dry run of $7,000. It wasn't big. The second one was bigger, and then I'm thinking the one coming next week is going to be another not too big, but high school is coming. November is going to be very busy, so I already asked the board to how much money should put in there. We're going to keep $50,000 in there, so this way we can do payment just like that every 2 weeks. Okay. Another thing about financial, we have closed the region's bank account. We just consolidate all our accounts with Fairwind's account because it just makes more sense for us instead of just going back to banks, and we just put it there. All right? Any questions about that? All right, so let's move on to, we stay on Arbiter. Sean, can I go on Arbiter right now? Because I just said I may have to repeat a few things that Anne was talking about. Some people are still confused about normal, suspended, rained out, and cancellation. Anybody having that problem? This confusion? Nobody? All right, okay. When you are in SR1, because, you know, instead of us going to tell Kevin, these are the people you should put SR1, because everybody should be able to do SR1, SR2. Because the SR1 is the person who reports the score after the game, same night or whenever you do it. If the score is not inputted in the arbiter, nobody gets paid. A little scary there, right? So SR1 goes into arbiter, and the first thing they have to say, this game was a normal game, because the status was there. You have to click, and then there's a drop down, normal, ran out, suspended, canceled. So SR1 click, that is what it was. Like a normal game would be a game everybody shows up, like Ann was talking about, everybody show up on time, everything is okay, even if the boss was late, the game takes place, all three referees or two referees done the game, they gone home, they got the score, 8-0, 7-3, whatever. That's a normal game.
I got it.
Okay, thank you, put that on video.
Yeah.
A game has a situation, you get there, and one school is there, the home team is there, and then you wait, the away team never shows up. What is that? It's a forfeit. It's a forfeit. The difference now is that both referees showed up, one school is there, the other one is not, it's a forfeit. Both referees will get paid game fee and travel, because it's not your fault the school didn't show up. Okay? Now, another situation, both referees show up, and there is lightning delay. Okay? The AD decide, you know what? The way I see things, we're not gonna have this game today. We want you to put in there, this game was rained out. Now, you're not gonna get paid for the game, you're gonna get paid for travel, because you made it there. Both referees were there. Arbiter automatically pays you travel. Now, you get to the school, and both referees there, two referees are there, and everybody's in place. Keeper, you okay? Right? You blow a whistle, lightning, boom. That's 2 seconds into the game, just to make it the extreme. 2 seconds into the game. Lightning, you have to stop the game. Everybody goes go inside. After 30 minutes, an hour, they decide, you know what, this game, we're not going to be able to get this game going. What is this now? It's a suspended game. You get paid for the game, you get paid for travel. Now, the AD will have to reschedule the game. Now, this is why I wanted to go on arbiter to show you a good report. A good, what I call a very good report. Yeah, no, I'm going to the ones I don't have any problem with when I go and I said, oh, good. Yeah. And I hope the referee I'm going to use does not mind, and I don't think he will. It's not me. I know what good report. Bear with me, guys. Now everybody knows who I'm talking about now. Oh my God. Okay. All right. No, I'm getting it. I'm good. I gotta do all of them. Okay, not this one. This one. All right. Everybody knows now who it is, right? Okay. Can you see the comments? Game suspended due to lightning in the first half. 10 minutes, 48 seconds, still to play before half. Restart is a throw-in for Neptune on the spectator side in Narcosis half. Spot of throw-ins in the event is even with top of penalty area and west of the field. Now, do you think any two referees would show up to finish this game would have any problem if they read this? So give Tom Nichols a hand, guys, please. Once I see that, I have no problem. I resolved it, verify it, everybody gets paid. No problem. Now, our meeting is not about negative, but it's not about what people doing and not doing. But we have a situation where one referee went to the president and told him, you know, I show up to a game, and as I was checking the team, the AD showed up and says, oh, wait a minute, this game was canceled 2 days ago. Now, this is a situation right there. Once I hear that, oh, wait a minute, we have to find out from Kevin what happened. We have to find out from the AD what happened. Find out from the referees what happened. Now, the situation wasn't about that. He then told me that, no, I did check the team, but the AD came and says we couldn't start this game because of lightning. So that game was supposed to be rained out. Sure enough, it's reported rained out. But the SR1 in the comments wrote the game was canceled at 5 o'clock. The game was a 5:45 game. The game was canceled at 5 o'clock. The referees were en route. Now, if one referee said, I was checking the team, and the AD told me the game is canceled, and the SR1 says, we are en route. So, exactly. So now, you see my dilemma? So what do I do now? Is it really suspended, or was it canceled 2 days ago? And then, how come the SR, this is what Ann was just talking about, showing up late and putting the report that is not the right thing, because you have, if you're gonna put a report in there, we don't mind paying you, but communicate with your SR1, SR2, and let them know what you're gonna put in there. That's one thing I wanna add also. When you do a game, make sure your SR1 know the score, and make sure that you know what they're gonna put in there. If you have an injury, it says don't forget to put the injury, because we need to know about it. The player didn't come back on the field. It's you, the center referee, that's your responsibility to make sure that SR1 does his job. But if that SR1 tell me that we were both en route, and one of them says, I was at the school, somebody's not telling the truth. But we don't want to go that. We don't want to go there. We just want to make sure that we pay you, put the report in, and we pay. We don't have any problem with that, okay? All right, so that was the bad stuff. Let's talk about the good stuff now. Friday is the classic. Fourth annual. Dave, I'm glad that you want to be the captain again, because Hassan.
No, I don't want to be the captain.
Because we have no choice. Yeah. Because, the captain we chose, he chickened out. Oh. His name is Hassan Belmania. Captain, you want to come this way? You want to come here? No, we're not asking you to play.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I understand.
All right. So I wasn't here the last meeting, so I asked to have Hassan, because I believe last year we paid a lot of money for him to play for us so we could win.
That's too much.
So we won. And this time around, you know, I hear that he's not gonna be the captain. So David then has to be the captain again for Seminole and Lake. We even tried to switch them. You know, that was Greg's idea to just switch them. But we said no, because we're gonna give Orange County a chance to redeem themselves, right? All right. All right. But anyway, the best news, guys. The news. David, Governor, I was telling you about the news. The good news, guys. Guess who's gonna be the center referee? Oh, Kevin O'Leary! Listen, he doesn't know what he's getting into. I'm telling you.
Well, wait a minute. I'm going to interject something right now. I need 4 assistants. We're going with a 5-whistle system.
So this is going to be great. Kevin O'Leary is the center referee, guys. So
The only thing that's going to be disappointing, I was really looking forward to throwing Hassan's ass out of the game.
That's what Alex did for me last year. That's what he did.
all right. So guys, Lake Seminole winning the strong team. I don't know. Rob Offham. Rob, are you going to be there Friday? All right. So we need a good team. Thank you very much, Deserter. My last thing, guys, referee of the year again. This is something that we spoke about in the first meeting, and we want to make sure you guys understand what we want to do this year for referee of the year. I want to give an example. Like that Tom Nichols report would be to me one of my votes. I have another gentleman, he's just showed up here, he's getting his shirt, and I wanted to use him as an example also. For the same situation about communicating with your SR1, this is why. Alberto Escobar. Yeah. We had a game at Austin Tyndall, right? Christian school. It was raining. We were afraid about the weather. He called me that morning. He says, I already spoke to the school. They're okay. They're going to be there. No problem. Okay, I'm on my way. Richard Rasmussen was the other AR. We contacted him. We told him, no problem. There's no rain. We're going to be there. We know he lived there, right? We asked him, is it raining on the area? Because he lived 5 minutes from the school. He says, it looks bad, but I'm not sure. But I'm going to go to the school and find out. So we kept communicating before I even go to the school. He was there with the coaches and everything like that. When we got there, we got the game done. It was just a question of communicating with your ARs. He started it, not me. I was the center referee, but he's the SR1. He started the communication by calling the school to know that we were going to be okay. I'm saying that for referee of the year, he's got one of my votes. Tom Nichols got one of my votes. So what we're doing, Ian's going to fix it that you only can vote the people you work with. These are the things that we want to know that you're looking at the referee. Not the guy that runs very fast. We want to know the guy that shows up like a professional, dressed like a professional, and does the game, and then does the thing that makes us walk out looking good in that game. That's what we're looking for referee of the year, guys. And that's all I have. Any questions? All right. Who's next? Kevin? Okay.
I just want to do one thing. We have a lot of new referees here, a couple of Mikes, Mike Rangel, Mike Henshaw, Haley, Kiefer. If you just stand up and so the rest of the membership knows who you are, all the new referees, and if you just give us a second, just what I'd like you each to do is just introduce yourselves to the membership and say where you came from or whatever. I know I'm very happy that you're here because we need referees, and I just want them all to know you. Okay? So Kiefer, you want to start? Just say your name so they know who you are. They can relate the name to the face.
All right, I'm Kiefer Copy. I've been officiating for 2.5 years.
Oh, and Era, sorry. Go, sorry. That's good. And then if just each one tell your name so that the guys and girls know who you are when you show up to their field. Okay? Eric? Okay. Mike? Okay, Mike?
Mike Henshaw, 10 years, just moved from Daytona to here, so I've worked with a whole lot of years before.
And Haley? Oh, and Chris, I'm sorry.
Chris Bishop, I've been wrestling for 24 years. Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Virginia, North Carolina, Georgia, and now Florida.
Okay, I guess I'm,
Yeah, you have to.
Do I have to go over
Yeah,
here?
they're taping it.
too many wires over here.
It's on,
I'm gonna
it's
trip
online.
on these things.
It's online, Tim.
Sorry. Okay. I think first of all, I don't have a lot to say. You probably have more to say to me than I have to say to you, but just to everybody, briefly, I guess the first thing with the signing, you send the assignments out, you think everything's great. That's where everything starts to fall apart, okay? We have a 72-hour rule. I'm not going to hammer the point any more than I have to, but if you don't accept or decline the assignment within that time period, it's going to decline it for you. And the rule is, it's not coming back, okay? Now, with some poor timing, when Matthew was coming by, unfortunately, it wasn't good timing, and some assignments went out, okay? I counted them. 163 came back, okay? Now, we did attribute a part of that to people without power. Who knows what happened to their phones or internet or whatever, okay? We're good with that. I reassigned all 163. Sent them back up. Okay? So now we've cut that down to 80 coming back. Okay? To me, see, I only give you assignments when your name appears. That says you are available. Now, again, I don't want to belabor this, but I send out emails prior to the season asking you to do one or two things. At the very least, if you'd like, send me an email back stating when you are or when you aren't available. Or go into the arbiter and do your blocks. I know that's a little time consuming. It does work though, because when you're blocked, your name doesn't appear. So I don't send you those games at those times. Okay? Now, unfortunately, because I counted them, of the membership, there were 47 people who I did not hear a thing back from. Either emails, going in and doing your blocks, calling me, texting me, whatever. And so I figure it's time to assign, and those 47 people, I don't know what their situation is. But I'm assuming, and you know what happens when you assume, okay? I'm assuming you're available, because that's what it says in the arbiter. So I send you the games, and they come flying back. You know, I have a work conflict. I understand you have these conflicts. That's not the point. The point is, block them. Block those days. I can't work Tuesdays. I can't work Fridays. I can't work before 6 p.m. I can do early games. I can't do early games. Block them or send me an email. Let me know. okay? It gives me a much better idea of who I can put on these games at these times. And that's all I'm gonna say about it, okay? It's just a little, you know, I don't like to get that many back, because I'm trying to give everybody games to make money. So, you know, we don't want those back, all right? So, do your best that you can with the blocks. I'm as guilty as anybody in the past. I have not blocked stuff out that I should have. I know it happens. But on a regular basis, if you know you work every night till 6 o'clock, but you don't tell me, and here I am putting you on 5:30 games, I don't know what you want me to say to that, okay? So, with that in mind, update your availability somehow, okay? I know everybody hates to hear that, but it keeps happening, all right? I think Ann touched on it earlier about if you have questions about the FHSAA or arbiter issues or your badges or stuff like that, I'm probably not the guy to call, because I'm gonna be calling Ann or sending Ann an email saying, can you help them out? Okay? That's kind of not my gig. All right? So please, I'll help you out if I know the answer, but a lot of times I don't have those answers, okay? Especially the FHSAA, because a lot of times they don't have the answers. So, now, people have asked me, they asked me last year, they asked me this year, could I send you a note the first of the week letting you know when I'm open? Absolutely. I have no problem with that. Send me an email. Don't always expect that I'm going to respond, because I'm going to have a lot of emails, okay? But send me an email, and that way I do know that you're open, even though when we go through games your name would appear, but it's okay. I'm not upset with anybody doing that, okay? It's okay. 3:30, 4 o'clock games, the early games, we're really hurting for people who can get out and do those. So if you're one of those people who are available at those times of the day, please let me know. All right? Short-term turnbacks, if you will. I had a game last year in Osceola County. 5:30 at night, the AD called me and said, I got 2 teams here. I screwed up. I never sent you this game. Can you get me somebody? Okay, that's pretty short term. And I didn't believe it, but within, 25 minutes, there were 3 guys there. And everybody got to play, and everybody went home kind of happy. Okay? But turnbacks, same-day turnbacks, I'm going to be texting people, emailing people. If you could, try and be diligent in, even if it's a no, I can't, if you could just text me back, say no, as soon as possible, because that means that position is still open, and I'm still going crazy to get something to happen for that night or that afternoon, okay? So, just that if you do get something, it usually means that I need a response pretty soon, okay? So, yeah.
Especially for the new referees, the season gets crazy, the standby. Let them know, send you a quick email, hey, I had it blocked, but now that it's now open, but I don't have time to get the computer, can you put me on standby?
Yeah.
New referees or whatever. They communicate with you, then you know.
That's all I ask. You know, you gotta, you know what? I would like to try and spread over the whole membership, everybody gets X amount of games. That's a perfect world. That's not the world we live in, okay? Stuff happens. Turnbacks, all kinds of stuff. Work. something happens with the family, I can't even tell you. I've heard all the things that happen, and some of them are great and some of them not so great, but stuff happens. So with all of that stuff, keep yourself as available as you can. We're going to need all of you. We have tons of games, and that's pretty much what I have for you. Tony, question?
Yeah, last year you sent us emails.
I did.
Are you gonna continue, are you gonna do that this year, or are you gonna use text, or what,
You had to bring it up, didn't you? I'm going to answer that with, I'm not sure.
How about emails so everybody has the same opportunity to get the games?
That was an email. This is the problem, okay? This is what I see as the problem, all right? I would like to have as many people available on a daily basis as possible to do games on short notice. And I realize that's probably in a perfect world too. And there are only a certain amount of people that are available, probably. A good number of you are already working, obviously, okay? Working games that night. All right. We're trying to get a system that can try and get to as many people as possible on short notice. Eddie and I have discussed this in the past. I think it's maybe an ongoing thing that if we can devise something that's better than that, we certainly will do it, because I'm really not trying to exclude anybody. But sometimes it's hard to include everybody, especially if it's on your end when you can't look at your emails at 7 in the morning or 6:30 or 8 or, I mean, it happens, okay? I don't have all the answers for that, but I know a lot of times it worked out pretty good last year, but,
I know in Auburn, at summer camp, they have a self-assigned feature.
yes.
Is that something that maybe we could use up to say,
We're not going to
9
use it
a.m.?
if we don't have to. Okay?
Arbiter still gives you who's available.
Right.
So couldn't you just look, kind of email to just those people?
See, we're already devising something, okay? It looks like we're going to try something where a turnback comes in, names are in the arbiter as to who is available. I will first try and send emails out to those people. That doesn't mean that all of you are going to get it, because some of you may be unavailable to get the email. But we'll try that first and see how that goes. Okay? And so we'll work it out. See, if we don't have any turnbacks, I don't have this problem. I'll just throw that out. In a perfect world. That's basically, anybody have any other questions of me? If you need to see me afterward, I still do need 4 assistants to referee with me, because we plan on throwing a lot of people out. And we got a lot of, writing to do. So, But if you'd like to talk to me after the meeting, or if you have special circumstances you want to let me know about, go for it, okay? Thanks for your time, appreciate it.
Prior to Eric coming up, and some of you might, those that have done postseason know that we have a ranking system. Ernie used to use, albeit a lot of you might not know this, but Ernie had everybody ranked. So I'm letting you know that you are ranked. But a lot of you don't know what it is. For that purpose, and I believe you should know, I want you to go ahead. You can contact anyone on the board. We all have access to it. We'll tell you, we're not going to print it out and show everybody, but we will let you know what your ranking is. And if you feel that you're undeserving of that ranking and you want something higher, you'll have to get an evaluation, and you'll have to contact Howard, our evaluation committee. His email is hds, as in Sam, and then soccer@aol.com. No, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And you'll have to get an evaluation. The evaluator will be Dr. Bro. And then once we get that in, then we'll review your ranking. Well,
Does that affect your regular season assignments also?
yes, it does. That's where Kevin gets his determination of what you're qualified to do, what levels you're qualified to do. With, some schools, as we know, are very competitive. But yeah, you evaluate, your rankings affect what games you get. Okay? It's 1 through 5. There is a 9, but 9 is new officials that we don't know anything about. And then it changes after they've been with the association for a month or so. The high is 1. Okay? And Eric has a couple words to say.
It's good to see some new faces here. We always need new blood. I'm Eric Segabarth, past president. And I'm just talking about Dennis Mulligan's dad who passed away. But really the reason why Hassan is not playing this year is he violated the sound ordinance out there at Trotters Park. If you were there last year, he was the sweeper on his team. I was one of the ARs, and he was quite loud. Okay, so he's directing his team. He did a very nice job. Good luck on your game, Hassan. Okay. Okay. Also, just to follow up with Dennis, you do as a referee here with our association, and I would recommend it too, when you are a federation referee too. You have an obligation to build a relationship with your assigner, and sometimes it's assigners. So reach out to him, tell him everything that he needs to know and that type of thing to make it easy. Because if he sends you games and you accept them and you go out and do them and he doesn't have any problems, guess what? You're going to get a lot of games, and that's the reason why a lot of us are here, I think. All right, those of you I know you guys know Dennis Mulligan. He's been a member of this association for probably going on close to about 15 years. And his dad passed away this past Tuesday. His name was Jerry Mulligan. He was one of our official brethren, so to speak. And Dennis and I kind of bonded a couple years ago when his dad was real sick. He had open bypass surgery, had all kinds of complications. They thought he was going to pass away and that kind of thing. And reason why we bonded, it was during the period where my mom, who was in her 80s, fell and broke her leg and had 2 operations. And so we spent a good number of evenings just talking about life and parents and being a son and all that good stuff. But his dad passed away. He was 79. His name was Jerry Mulligan. And kind of a neat guy, coach. He coached the other football, okay, the imposter as I call it. But he also, after he retired, he became a track official. He would go to track meets and that type of thing, and it was a total volunteer thing. He used to get on Dennis's case all the time about the fact that he didn't get paid. And Dennis, of course, it pays pretty good to do this, to referee the beautiful game. But his dad passed away in his sleep. And just be thinking about Dennis and that type of thing. The funeral mass was Friday, so my recommendation, Michelle, is maybe to send some money to a private organization that maybe his dad was willing to support her, maybe Dennis. So just keep Dennis in your prayers. When you see him out on the pitch, give him a big hug, man. Let him know you're thinking about him. Thanks. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Was Don Dodge a member here?
Yeah, Don was secretary for a long time. He was president. He was past president. Matter of fact, I worked with Joe today, and I asked Joe how he was doing. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Yes, sir.
I haven't been here for a while. What is the board done, association done in regards to Don?
Say that again?
What is the board of the association done in regards to Don? Are we sent him flowers or set up a GoFundMe, anything like that? I haven't been here, I'm just wondering.
That's a great question. I don't know, and I don't know if we've done anything, except for maybe reach out to him.
And was visiting him more than once.
Okay, go ahead. It's a great question, Alex.
Basically, I went, when I found out he was down, he actually was in the hospital the night of the
decision. All right, but we already accepted that everybody's going to give one game fee. And it is a varsity fee or is it a JV fee? Varsity. Okay, so once this is done, then we'll work on deducting it from the pay and then create the fund and do that.
Michelle, what time period? What's
Yeah,
the time period?
yep, November, because this is one of the biggest month. Yes, Sonia, yes.
I understand what you're saying
Mhm.
regarding trying to raise money to help him and his brother with his medical expenses. They are going to be very, very high.
Yeah.
But I don't think that asking everyone to give a game fee is the answer. Only because there's many here that do not know him, and I don't want everyone to feel that they're obligated to give that. It should be what you would wish to give to that. The Go Fund is the best.
Go fund.
I think GoFundMe is the best.
Okay.
Then you get what you want.
Go fund.
You get what you can.
All right, go fund. Let's vote for go fund right now. Go fund it is. All right. That's good. All right.
Michelle, recap that because we had to use the whole one of it out. So
Yeah.
recap for the folks listening
Yeah.
what's happening. But don't go into the email chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Explain to them what you're saying again.
Okay. We have just voted on creating a Go Fund to help our past president. He was the secretary for a long time, and he became president, and then he was the past president. And he's suffering right now with a lot of medical issues, and the membership agreed to create a Go Fund to help him with his medical expenses, and he's living for until he gets better. And everybody here voted yes. Where the majority says they want it, and then that's what we're going to do. Okay.
I have a question. I'm not familiar with GoFund. Somebody going to send out a.
They're going to send you a link.
So that we can go.
Yeah.
Email a link.
Yeah, email with a link. Okay. Okay. All right, Mr. President. I think it's time to wrap it up.
Where is he? Education. Everybody's favorite topic and speaker, education.
All right, we're going over new rules and points of emphasis for the upcoming season. And fortunately, there aren't a lot of those. But while we're getting set up, I want to cover a few things. First of all, apparently, people are getting very creative with second yellow cards. When you give a second yellow card, how do you do it? Question. No. A second yellow card, you show the yellow card, and then you show a blue card. Not two fingers. It's yellow, blue. That's a second yellow. Player still has to leave. He's out of the game, and the team plays short. Any questions there? All right, let's get that one right on the field. Some of us have taken the test. Thank you. Don't wait till the last second. There have been technical issues with the test. I heard a couple people, one person, it just crashed on them halfway through and they had to start over. Fortunately, it reset their clock too. Somebody else I heard got about halfway through and it crashed and marked their test complete and they failed because they had only answered half the questions. They ended up calling Gainesville. Gainesville reset it for them. So don't wait till the last second because we always have problems at the last second, but you also might need some help from Gainesville because it's a little buggy this year. There was an item we covered, but I'm going to cover it again because, well, I had this question 4 times on the test. So, any delayed, excessive, or prolonged acts by a player which attempts to focus attention on him or herself and or prohibits a timely restart of the game, how is that treated?
Red card.
Red card, that is correct. The book lists it as a yellow card, but the override from FHSAA makes it a red card. It's a red card. Okay. The gray book, this is from the gray book. And it says, so a player who, yeah, it's a PDF now, it's not a gray book. It's online on the FHSA website. A player who commits any of the violations listed in NFHS Rules 12-8-1F subsection 12. Got that? So, and then it says they are guilty of unsporting conduct and shall be issued a red card and disqualified from the game. Yeah. So now that's a bit confusing because we all know that unsporting conduct is a yellow card, but it then says it's a red card. They've escalated this, go with the red card. That's what they really want. And I'll tell you, I got it right 4 times on the test, so I'm sticking with that. So you have to read the FHSAA overrides and then go reference back to the book to find out what it really says. And it's excessive celebration thing, drawing attention to yourself. And it doesn't have to be necessarily after a goal scored, although that's typically when we're going to see it. And just to cause trouble, I'm going to throw this out. We are going to talk to the state about players who want to protest at the national anthem because I'm sure we will see it. In my opinion, that's drawing excessive attention to it oneself and would be treated as a red card. Don't go with that yet. Wait till we get clarification from the state. All right. All right.
Just like flash one card at them each and then they can pick which one they want. Is that how we're going with that? They keep telling us.
It's red.
So when that happens, I just need to think WWRD. What would Rick do?
Yeah, that I don't have trouble giving a red on that, but I wouldn't have trouble with that one, truthfully. But that's not going to be my call. That'll be the state's call. Wait for the state to tell us. We'll hopefully have clarification before the season starts. All right, new rules. I'm going to try and do this fast because nice thing is there really aren't any new rules. So, first one, a soft padded headband is permitted. Yay. All right, move on. Questions? It was in the, they put it in, it was in the interpretation of the rules, but not in the rules. So they stuck it in the rules. Not a big deal. On a penalty kick, if a player starts and then stops, the old rule said they're not allowed to do that. And then the restart would have been, the start and stop and the goalkeeper saves it. It used to be that they got to kick it again. Well, they've kind of put some common sense into the rule and said, if the keeper saves it, the attacking player committed a violation, the keeper saves it, we shouldn't reward the attacking team by giving them another chance. So there's a chart in the book, I'm going to have you guys look it up, that tells you all the restarts. So this is basically a stutter step leading up to a kick is a violation by the attacking team. Go check the chart because if it goes out for a goal kick, it's one, or if it goes out, out of play, untouched, it's a goal kick. If it's saved by the keeper and goes for a corner kick, then it becomes an indirect free kick. So there's different scenarios based on what the result of the kick is. If it is a goal, you do a re-kick. So any questions there?
I'm still confused about, it says interrupt his or her movement.
Uh-huh.
You're saying stutter steps is considered interrupting their movement.
I do consider that, yes. If they start slow and they stay slow, fine. But if they're changing speeds and waiting, we don't want to see the Ronaldo run up to the ball, wait for the goalie to jump, and then kick it to the other side of the net. They're saying no to that. That's the extreme, but it needs to be a smooth motion all the way through the kick. So.
Can I do a show and tell?
Yes.
All right, ball is here. I look at the keeper. Now going. Once I do this, what is that?
That is a violation.
That's a violation.
I do a stutter step.
You got it?
That is.
That's
That's
okay.
fine.
That's the same continuous motion.
It is continuation, let them go.
Yeah.
That's fine, but if I do this, and then move again, nope,
That's what I see as a stutter step.
there you go.
Questions?
Question on that, the book says it's a violation by the attacking team, it's reflected on the ballot, it's legal on the review, previous review. Reflected on the ballot by the goalkeeper, it doesn't direct it.
Right.
So it's reflected out for a corner kick,
Yeah, so the goalie makes a save, and it goes out for, would be a corner kick. We're saying that's a violation by the attacking team, and it becomes an indirect free kick. So we don't want to keep rewarding the offending attacking team by then giving them an attacking corner kick. So it makes sense. It's kind of nice that they put rules in that make sense for a change.
is it from the goal line?
Well,
Where would the indirect?
assume the violation, put it as if it was in the goal area, and go with that.
Got it, like it.
Yeah, I guess technically you could say, put it at the penalty spot. That would, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Make sure we're all on the same page.
Yeah. So, yeah, I actually think about it, I'd throw it at the penalty spot for the indirect free kick. All right. Offside, the offside rule has been rewritten, but our interpretation of it has not changed. Basically, all they've done is taken FIFA's wording and thrown it into the high school book. So those of us with FIFA will recognize the terminology.
Define play.
Hmm?
Define,
Define play?
yeah, the defender made a play.
Okay. So, all right, so read the. So players offside and penalized if at the time the ball touches or is played by a teammate, the player is involved in active play and interferes with play or with an opponent or seeks to gain an advantage by being in that position. And then the next couple of slides will define all those terms. A player is in an offside position receiving the ball from an opponent who deliberately plays the ball except from a deliberate save. It's not considered to have gained an advantage. So a deliberate play has to be a conscious play by the defender. A save can be by the goalkeeper rebound or a defender in the net rebound, but it has to be a conscious, controlled move. Sticking out a defender sticking out their foot and having the ball bounce off it will not negate the offside.
He played it.
He did not deliberately play the ball.
He deliberately tried to kick the ball.
Doesn't count. That does not.
See, that's a play on the ball.
No, but it's not.
That's a play on the ball.
It's like, how do you decide, you lose.
Yeah,
But it's not.
If I had my feet on the ground and the ball bounced off, that's different. That's different. I didn't play the ball. But if I lift my leg and it bounced
All right.
off, I deliberately played it.
Right, but you made a save too.
So and your foot have to be.
That's why I was asking.
They're separate.
Yeah.
I know that's gonna be
So,
coach is gonna lose their mind.
so here's guys. Nothing changed with offside. What you called last year is the same thing you're going to call this year. So hopefully, if you got it right last year, you'll keep getting it right. All they've really done is align the rules with FIFA. So, the defender that sticks their leg out and it bounces off him and goes to a player in an offside position, you're going to blow the whistle on that. That does not negate it. A defender that's controlling the ball, dribbling it, and passes it to a player in an offside position, then it would be negated. All right, questions? So, definition of gaining an advantage. Ball bounces off the keeper, keeper makes a save, and it goes to a player in an offside position. Interfering with an opponent, blocking their view or their path to the ball. This one's harder to see, but it happens. And interfering with play, as soon as you touch the ball, you've interfered with play. So, again, we should be pretty familiar with these terms. Questions? Points of emphasis this year. Rough play. And what they're calling rough play is anything that occurs above the shoulders. They want to clamp down on this. So the leading elbow going into a header. I guess, a high kick that goes into somebody's face, that kind of thing. That's what we're trying to prevent and discourage. Question?
So by putting it above the shoulder, are they trying to stay ahead of where the games may go?
Say,
Ahead of where the games may go?
okay. Sorry, I didn't get it. All right, you'll explain that joke later. Thank you. So questions here? Where maybe you might have talked your way through, talked to a player when they're leading, throwing that elbow into somebody's face on a head, maybe that now needs to be a yellow card. Okay, question?
Now, on the test, they talk about disqualify the players when they're using taunting. Now, are we still using red card for taunting, or are we gonna use blue card for that?
Sorry, taunting?
Yeah.
Okay, so the question is,
Players for violating conduct is totally different than excessive celebration or blah, blah, blah. So I would like to clear that out.
okay, so slight change of subject, but question is, what are we using a red or blue card for taunting? So, and the answer is red. The only time we will use a blue card is denying a goal scoring opportunity when it's not done in a violent manner, and a second yellow card. Everything else is still a red card.
Abusive language, all the stuff.
Yes, foul, abusive language, red card. The excessive celebration thing, red card. Okay? So, all right. I did two of them, didn't I? All right, team member equipment check. They're now suggesting that we informally inspect the teams before the game. So last year they said don't inspect them at all. Now they're saying informally. My guess is that means you kind of walk around as you're inspecting the field and kind of make sure everybody's wearing shin guards and that kind of thing. It doesn't mean line them up and check their Noxy seal on their shin guards, that kind of thing. So it's kind of a middle ground between formally lining them up and not doing it at all. So leave that to your discretion. What we're trying to do here is prevent yellow cards to coaches for violations of the equipment. So, questions there? All right. There's a little loophole. They put a rule in, was it last year or the year before, where if we stop the clock to check out an injured player, that player must leave the field, regardless of whether a trainer comes on or not. And that put us in a really bad spot because if we let the clock run to go check out the player, now the losing team wants the clock stopped, and then the team with the injured player doesn't want their player to leave. Yeah, gonna break stuff. So it kind of put the referees in a bad spot. So this is telling us if we stop the clock because a goal was scored, and then we go check out a player, well, we stop the clock for the goal to be scored, that player doesn't have to leave the field. All right? So working off of that loophole, if you think you might have an injured player, and they might need a little bit more time, but they don't really need to be checked out you can stop the clock for anything. Think about it, right? So suddenly you'll need to tie your shoes and you're going to stop your clock, tie your shoes, deal with the player. They won't have to leave the field because you stop the clock for a referee issue, not for the player. So gives you a little bit more in your toolbox to work with. So, yes? This is good. I can't hear you. Okay. Yes. All right, so we're talking about the scoreboard clock. You stop your clock, you always have to signal that the clock stops so everybody knows. And if they're paying attention, they'll stop it. But yes, the stadium clock always runs down to 0, and we hope they can turn off their horn. So, all right, questions here? Hopefully I gave you something to work with. And then ball holders. What do the rules require? 2. All right, 3 balls, 2 ball holders. I've been to schools where they insisted that they would not have ball holders, and I insisted we wouldn't play the game, and suddenly they appeared. So, this is now a point of emphasis. Don't start games without ball holders. There's always somebody's brother running around who's willing to help you out. All right, questions there? It doesn't specify. Well, technically, there are no rule changes between JV and varsity other than time. So, so yeah, insist on ball holders. And if we're all consistent, it won't be an issue after the first week. So, questions?
Technical area too. You're supposed to have a technical area.
Yeah. All right, that's all I have.
Hey, Rick, I
Okay,
do have one
question.
In reading what I got from the association and that printout from the guidebook, it said in Article 12, rule throw B, all the way to G, the bottom, which said about tobacco and or e-cigarettes, that's now a red card. Did I determine
Yeah,
that correctly?
it's the section F12, just F12, and section G.
And G.
Yeah, those two are red cards. So if you see a player smoking, please give them a red card.
Okay, I thought
It's not all of those.
that's how I saw it.
Yeah, it's a mess in the. Okay, I was just informed, Seminole County JV games will be 35 minutes, not 40. So that'll help us keep things on time.
Did you say that was just for Seminole? Or is
Yeah.
They use for 40 minutes.
They're the only ones that
They were the only ones doing 40 minutes, though, not in the.
Seminole's 35-minute JVs. And everybody else,
Seminole's the only one that ever was 40.
yeah. Everybody else,
The only one that was 40, now it's 35.
everybody else is 30 minutes. Orange Lake are all 30 minutes, Seminole 35s. Ask them.
They're regular. All private schools are regular.
So 30-minute halves for JVs on private schools? Okay, 30-minute halves on JV for private schools.
And that's tobacco of any sort, so it's not just smoking, it can be snuff.
Chewing, yeah. Yeah, any kind of tobacco is a red card. I've never seen it, so I'm sure it happens. Okay. Any questions? Otherwise, I'm done. Thank you. Siri's up next. I'll stay up here, but I'm staying away from that microphone.
Okay, guys, let's be quick here. 3 things you guys have been getting wrong apparently, so we're gonna fix that right now. Restarts. So, what do we do if you stop play and the team who has possession, what do we restart with?
Indirect free kick.
Indirect free kick. Yay. Oh, wait. Second, if no team has possession and you stop, we do not do a drop ball, or we shouldn't, right? It shouldn't never happen 99% of the time. There's that 1%.
Yeah.
If you really need to. But other than that, don't do it. Don't do it. And third, we wait for the team to gain possession before stopping for an injury unless it's critical. So if he falls, and, so dramatic and twirling on the floor, if it's not serious, do not stop. Got it? Don't make that mistake. Okay? What?
Don't stop until the team.
Yeah, until the team gains possession there. Okay? Good? All right.
Thank you.
That's the kind of PowerPoints we like in college. 2 slides.
Rick, while you were doing your thing, I was texting with Dennis. So he wants us to make a contribution to his dad's track official organization for a mentor program. So
Great.
he He's gonna get me the information, so.
Okay.
On social media, I don't know.
Good. Look, if you have the information,
As soon as I get it, I'll get it.
Good, good, all right.
He was touched that we were all thinking.
Yes.
Can you say that so people don't?
Yes. So Dennis Mulligan's father has a foundation or a charity. He's associated with one organization.
With being a track official organization.
A track official organization. And they have a mentor program, and we will send out the info so that you can donate to that.
Well, no. We're just, the board's gonna make a donation.
The
Probably
board is gonna make a
$100 or
donation.
Something like that. That's
Okay.
what we've typically done in the past. We did it for Ann, we did it for
Okay.
my dad. We did it for other people. Sometimes we send flowers.
Okay.
The funeral's already done.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. So we're gonna do a quick, super quick arbiter training, some quick key points, and then I'll take questions. Yes. Okay. So something that needs to be done for a lot of you is the ready to assign button. Okay. So this is a screenshot of arbiter. If you are not clicked there, then if I'm not mistaken, Kevin cannot assign you or will not see you in arbiter. Is that correct, Kevin? Correct. Okay. So if you want games, it is in your best interest to check that box. Okay?
We just do it for him, though.
Okay. So Kevin can't do it. Kevin can't do it. Go in there. Takes 1 second. Just do it. Okay, it's on your home page. Okay, this is now on your schedule tab. Okay, and if you need to go back and see games in the past, okay, I guess some people are having trouble finding them. You are going to go up here to the date drop down. Okay, it gives you many, many, many options. Last 7 days, last month, future. Okay, I tend to keep mine on future, but if I don't do a game report immediately when I get home, the next morning the game is gone. Okay, the game did not disappear. The game is still in arbiter. You need to click the drop down and then click show all or last 7 days, and those game reports will be there. Okay, don't forget to click apply. Okay, it will not change unless you click apply, and it saves your settings from the last time you used it. Okay, so if you hate that it keeps showing all, you can go back and change it back to just the future, okay, however you like it.
John, also, hey, make sure that you normally keep your filter on either future or show all, because if you got your filter on like last week, and I give you a game for next week, it's not gonna show.
Yep.
You won't see it. Okay, we had that happen last year a few times.
Okay. So make sure that if you see that you got an email saying there's new games and you can't find them, check your filters, okay? Okay, this is the big one for most of us, okay? Let me go really quick. Before the meeting started, I went through Arbiter and ran a report and found that all of these people on this list are not in compliance with their proper arbiter profiles, okay? It's a lot of people, okay? You need to have a couple of things. Very minimum in your arbiter account. You need to have your name, picture. Picture. Did I say picture? Picture. Hassan, picture. Okay? Phone number. Okay, that's in this box here. You need to have a picture and a phone number. The best phone number for you, okay? If I'm going to go to a game and I want someone's phone number, okay? If you show up to a game and it's rained out and I knew I can't get a hold of you, oh well, you're going to be sitting around doing nothing, waiting for a game that's not going to happen, okay? Make it easy on yourself. Give us a phone number. You need a zip code as well. This helps Kevin to assign, knows where you are, where you're coming from, okay? We're not asking for your whole address. Mine is in there. I don't care, okay? But very minimum, you need a zip code in Arbiter. Picture. You need a picture. Okay. Okay. Arbiter is the easy part. Make this easy, okay? The field stuff, that's the hard stuff, as you can see, okay? Make this easy. Make Arbiter easy. It's so easy. You go in and accept games. Arbiter's easy. Go fix it, okay? You could watch this over and over again, but the field stuff, that's the hard stuff. Okay. Any questions? Any questions in Arbiter in general? So when I go do this later, we're going to have lots of people with pictures and names and phone numbers. Yes.
Say you live in one zip code,
Uh-huh.
are more often than not in another zip code.
Okay. That would be up to Kevin how he wants that. Also, if you are in two different locations, it's probably in your best interest to shoot him an email and say, hey, this is my situation. I'm here during the day. I'm here during the night. Okay, this is where I'm coming from. I'm coming from work. I live in Lake Nona, but I work in Lake Mary. Okay, it's easy for me to come from Lake Mary to do games. That would be something that would be great to communicate to him. Any other questions? Okay.
Yeah, I have one question. You're gonna send out clean emails and check.
Yeah. You know how long I spent on that email too? It was. I spent a half hour on that email and I ran it through 2 different checking systems and nothing caught it.
It was spelled correctly.
It's spelled correctly. It is. It's spelled correctly. You know, I'm glad you're reading it. Right?
I want to know who reads them.
Well, I sent my email to Carlos. He didn't catch it.
Good job, Sean. Good job.
I just needed your approval. That's all.
You're validated.
All right, so lastly, make sure that you check your Arbor profiles this week. Make sure your settings are correct. If you want to know your rankings, make sure you let somebody on the board know. Our next meeting will have, after you try on the shirts, if you need to change the size, let us know. The next meeting will have the actual other shirts, and we should have your coins. Okay? All right. Motion to adjourn? Have a good evening.